Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Vedic astrology coach Rohit Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. Today's video is very special because this is one of the last and the most important transit of the year 2024. Saturn finally is making a direct transit in the sign of Aquarius. It is its last leg of transit and that is happening on 15th of November, and Saturn is going to stay in its Mool Trikona sign of Aquarius till 29th of March 2025. So nearly 4 months of time where Saturn is going to spend the last leg of transit in the sign of Aquarius, which is its Mool Trikona sign. And this opportunity, this transit is not going to happen for the next 30 years. Now, before I talk about how this transit is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs of the moon signs and give you some nice tips and how you can make the most of this transit, I'm going to talk about a couple of things and I'm going to share some deep secrets, some very important tips related to Saturn. So firstly, Saturn is going to have an unusual pace as far as this particular transit is concerned because it is going to be making this direct movement at 18 degrees and 28 minutes. That means the last 12 degrees, because Saturn is going to go up to 30 degrees in the sign of Aquarius, is going to be covered in the period of 4.5 months. So that is the kind of pace which Saturn will be at, which is quite unusual. But the initial movement will still be slow. So mark these dates from 14th of November till about 16th of November, Saturn will be in a stationary position, Stambhana motion. It is a very important karmic point because that is a time when stationary Saturn is going to be extremely powerful, extremely beneficial. I have also mentioned in my previous video that the month of November, Saturn is going to be the most powerful and dominant planet, and the same would apply to the first few days of December as well. We call Saturn Shri Sanishtara, and the Mool mantra for Saturn is Om Sham. This is something which people can use to pacify Saturn, to minimize any ill effects related to Saturn. A simple mantra that is Om Sham can help you reduce its ill effects if you're going through Sarasati or if you're going through Ashtama Shani or Kantaka Shani, that means Saturn's 4th from your moon or 8th from your moon or the ascendant. You can use this Mool mantra. In this video, I am also going to be preparing you for Saturn's transit in the sign of Pisces. So there will be 2 takeaways for you. In this transit, Saturn is going to be making a connection with Mars because Mars is going debilitated in the sign of Cancer. It is having its 8th aspect or drishti on Saturn. Therefore, both of them having a sambandha. 8th aspect of Mars is all about how long you're going to be protected. This is what Saturn is going to decide. This is what the sign of Aquarius is going to decide wherever it falls in your chart. Now, the relation between Saturn and Mars. Saturn hates Mars. It has an enmity with Mars because Mars is the one who beats Saturn. If you look at from an astrological point of view, Saturn gets debilitated in the sign of Aries, which is ruled by Mars. On contrary, Mars gets exalted in the sign of Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. Therefore, there is that revenge which Saturn has. Saturn in Aries is all about revenge, and Saturn in Scorpio, or if you have planets in Scorpio, heavy energies in Scorpio, they always have a hidden motive. This is the kind of message which I'd like to share with you. This is due to the fact, the kind of relationship that Saturn and Mars have. Saturn is going direct in Aquarius, which is aspected by a debilitated Mars, which is the 8th aspect. So the message here is that there is a hidden motive at work, and that is something which you need to identify. How you can translate these energies. If you have something that is going on, a plan, it is advisable that you do not share it with a lot of people. You go ahead and implement that plan. And if you're successful, you will be recognized. This is how you need to channelize the energies of transit Saturn, which is going to make a direct motion in Aquarius. The other tip that I'd like to give you is that Saturn is very good in Jupiter ruled signs, that is Sagittarius and Pisces. Saturn is an old graha. Jupiter has a lot of wisdom, therefore Saturn likes to listen to Jupiter and it feels very comfortable. When Saturn will move in Pisces in 2025, we have a period of hope for about 2.5 years because Saturn is the Karaka significator of the natural 12th house. It is in Jupiter ruled sign. So therefore it is an excellent time to achieve spiritual pursuits. Put all your attention, your duty should be towards achieving spiritual goals and helping other people. So I call that transit a transit of hope. Saturn in Pisces is better than Saturn in Capricorn, which is its own sign. Saturn in Aquarius is a Mool Trikona sign. So that is the office space of Saturn. And that's another tip that I'd like to share with you. Saturn in Capricorn. Capricorn is own sign of Saturn. That means it is its home. Aquarius is the Mool Trikona sign of Saturn. That is its office space. Now, if you understand this, that its office space, which is Saturn going to work, is second from its home sign. Therefore, the key message that Saturn gives you is that he wants you to work towards your family, because we see family from the second house, and this is the Mool Trikona sign of Saturn. This is the very important message for you for the next 4.5 months. Work for your family. Saturn likes places that are top of the mountains, because Aquarius is signified by mountains. Its symbol is a man carrying a big vessel of water and is climbing the mountain very, very slow. Saturn likes isolated places where people don't often make a visit. Another interesting fact about Saturn, and a golden remedy for you, for those who have Saturn Atmakaraka, which means the highest degree, or if Saturn is connected to your Lagna, to 5th house, 9th house, or to your Lagna Lord, or to some key prominent planets in your chart, or the moon. Such people at some point in time in their life should do something related to their parents or their guru, either related to their mother, father, or their guru, because Saturn is the follower of lineage. Saturn believes in lineage. So with strong Saturn, with Saturn making a connection, prominent houses or prominent planets in your chart, or if Saturn is Atmakaraka, at some point in time, even temporarily, if let's say your father has a business or a kind of education qualification, or related to your mother, or related to your guru, you must follow this. And this is a karmic debt that you are repaying to strengthen your Saturn, to help channelize you. Saturn being the old planet and a cold planet, Shani's devatas are mother, father, and the acharya. Therefore, the mantra that you should chant is Matridevo Bhava, Pitridevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. That means you are offering your prayers to your mother, father, and the guru at the same time, which will help you channelize your Saturn in an appropriate direction. And this way you're also fulfilling the karmas that are associated to your lineage. Remember, the older Saturn gets, it is prominent for your growth. Saturn likes to get old. Saturn likes to be with old people, those who have a kind of maturity. And as it grows older, it gives you something that no other planet gives you. It is the power of labor. That is the magic of beautiful Saturn. And if you have the power of labor, you're able to channelize it, utilize it. Success is guaranteed. Please remember, luck plays only 10% of role in our success. I'm not saying it does not play a role, it does play a role, but 90% it is all about the power of labor. That really matters. Therefore, I always say to people that your profession somehow should be connected to Saturn. Your Saturn should be approving your profession as far as your chart is concerned. A few weeks ago, I made a video on a similar topic. I'll share that in the link in the comment section, and you can watch that video as well. So remember 3 important things about Saturn. As Saturn grows older, it gets better. Saturn doesn't believe what you like. Saturn believes in what he likes. Saturn will give you what you want, but Saturn will only give you when he wants. And most importantly, Saturn works like a pace of an elephant. We call it Gajagati. That is why it takes 2.5 years for it to move from one sign to the other. Now this Saturn is moving the pace of an elephant. So this time, for a change, the elephant is running. It is running to the sign of Pisces, and we need to understand these energies and make the most of these energies. The last few months, a lot of us would have been going through a feeling of burnout, because work becomes burden when Saturn goes retrograde. From a karmic standpoint, it is likely to improve. The scenario situation, thankfully, is likely to improve over the next couple of months. This movement of Saturn from one sign to the other, in this case Aquarius to Pisces, was also called Dhan Yatra or wealth journey. This is an optimum time to increase your sources of wealth and also create more resources for yourself so you can get to work. Now let's talk about how Saturn's direct transit in the sign of Aquarius is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs on the moon signs. At a physical level, you must read this from your ascendant sign. At a mental level, you can read this from your moon sign as well. And for all the Capricorn moon people, it's good news for you because your Saraswati is coming to an end. For the Scorpio moon people, it is good news because your Kantaka Shani is coming to the closure, and Cancer moon signs, your Ashtam Shani is finally moving out. Let us talk about Aries ascendants and how Saturn's direct transit in the sign of Aquarius is going to have an impact on Aries ascendant signs or the moon signs. At the physical level, you must read this from your ascendant sign. Now understand, Saturn for you is the 10th and the 11th lord. Okay, it rules the Badak house for you as well, which is the 11th house. It rules your karma, your actions in the society, your profession, the kind of work that you do, the nature of your job, your sources of gains, your material comforts and material life, your friends, your obstacles, your bigger enemies, and of course your purpose, your fulfillment of life as well. That is also something we see from the 11th house. The Saturn's been making a retrograde transit. It would have brought some sort of transformation as far as your work is concerned, as far as some of the decisions that you have taken in life from a work point of view. But now this Saturn is going to make a direct transit in your 11th house, and gradually Saturn is going to be picking up the pace. It is going to be moving faster than usual because it is going to cover 12 degrees in about 4.5 months, which is unusual pace for Saturn. So you can expect the D-days to minimize and this time to be quite progressive as far as work related decisions or pursuits are concerned. So this is something which you have to be mindful of. This time period would be quite fruitful for you, would be quite essential for you to make key decisions related to your workplace. So in case you're looking forward to making a change, manifesting a new opportunity, starting a new line of work or business, situation could be favorable for you in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive during this time. You must listen to the message of Saturn that it is giving you in the 11th house. Though there could be some obstacles, there could be some issues with leaders or authority during this time, but this Saturn definitely is giving you the power of labor and avoiding any kind of procrastination. If you have been delaying certain things, if you have been procrastinating on certain tasks, now you will come out of that situation and try to move in a rapid manner. If you've been thinking of going to the gym, exercising, working out, this could be a potentially favorable time for you. So understand, I'm going to talk about two special aspects of Saturn here. Saturn aspects 3rd from its position and 10th from its position. These are Upachaya aspects and these are 100% drishtis or 100% aspects. And this is the aspect of growth. Okay. The 3rd aspect of Saturn is on your ascendant, which indicates growth, which indicates change, change in yourself, growth of your intelligence, growth of your body, growth of your personality. Okay, and this is a good growth. And Saturn's 10th aspect is on your 8th house here. Okay, so this is an opportunity for you as far as growth is concerned, as far as your transformation is concerned. This is the kind of message which Saturn is giving you, and your transformation is in your hands. No one is going to come to you and ask you to transform or push you to transform. You're going to be the one who's going to push his or her limits. So try and start pushing your limits beyond what you do. Get into having a new line of work. Be open to new assignments, new projects, something that you've never done in the past. This is your time to make those decisions. If you've been thinking to start a new line of work, a new line of business, or something that you've always wanted to do, and now is the time of fulfillment. Now, one other key message for you is because Saturn is going to be making a transit in your 12th house in the sign of Pisces, and that needs to be fixed before Saturn makes a transit. So you have to take care of the matters related to your 12th house, which is your sleep. You have to fix your sleep. You have to have the ability to help others. You also need to become more self-aware. Do a SWOT analysis for yourself because Saturn is your 10th lord. It is currently making a transit in the 11th house, then it will make a transit in the 12th house. So this is your time to bridge the gap in terms of the skills that you have and what are the kind of skills that you need, and how will you achieve or of course upskill yourself in order to reach your desired outcome. So you are at A, you need to reach B, and in order to reach there you need to have 3 to 4 certain skills. And how are you going to build those skills? This is your time to think through, which could be quite fruitful, quite eventful for you as far as your work is concerned. This Saturn is also going to bring in some amazing travel opportunities, will make you very much connected to nature. Any mantras that you use, because your 5-11 axis is pretty active during this time, particularly mantras related to Mars or Narsimha, your Lagna Lord, you could be quite beneficial because Mars is aspecting this Saturn during this time. So there is certain sense of control that your Lagna Lord has on this Saturn, and I wish you the very best for this transit. Let us now talk about Taurus Ascendants and what's happening with Taurus Ascendants as far as Saturn's direct transit in the sign of Aquarius is concerned. And this is going to be happening in the 4th pada of Shatabisha Nakshatra. One interesting fact about Shatabisha Nakshatra is this is the nakshatra that has 1000 lights. It has got one of the brightest stars and it's got a lot of energy. So wherever this nakshatra falls in your chart, that house naturally has a lot of light, and if there are any planets or prominent planets placed there, it has a lot of light. Therefore Saturn has a lot of light during this time. It has very high energy as far as this particular time is concerned, and now it is making a direct transit in the 4th pada, which is the pada of moksha. So this is your time, because Saturn for you is your 9th lord and the 10th lord. It is a yoga karaka planet for Taurus Ascendants. Firstly, it's your bhagyesha, it is also your karmesha, so it rules your dharma, your fortune, long journeys, your higher education, your father, lineage, and Saturn is the significator of lineage. It also rules your profession, your actions in the society, your work, things that you do in order to survive and sustain yourself in this world. It's a very important planet, and this is making a direct transit in your 10th house itself. It is forming a yoga, it is forming a dharma karma yoga. It is going at an unusually fast pace during this time. Otherwise Saturn is pretty slow. It makes a very slow transit, like an elephant. That is its walk, and now the elephant is running. Your 10th house has a lot of brightness, has a lot of light during this time, which is reducing the cold energies of Saturn and putting it to work. So of course there could be some key prominent decisions, firstly related to your bhagya, related to your dharma. You need to be the protector of your dharma, because Saturn is natural karmesha and it is making a transit in your 10th house, and this is what needs to be protected. There could be some vital decisions as far as your work is concerned. The next 4.5 months can bring new, bigger and better opportunities as far as your work is concerned. This is something which you must read through this transit, because you will not get this kind of opportunity for the next 30 years. And after that, Saturn is going to be making a transit in your 11th house in the sign of Pisces, and that is something which you need to fix. So you need to create a source of income, you need to create more income, you need to of course constantly work towards the welfare of your family. This is the kind of message that Saturn gives, because 9th house is Capricorn, 10th house is Aquarius for you, and Aquarius is second from Capricorn. Therefore, it wants you to work towards your family. This is the kind of message which it has. Now, this Saturn is going to be aspecting your 12th house by its 3rd aspect and the 7th house by its 8th aspect. So, there is growth of relationship and also growth of work during this time. In case you've been looking forward to having a new partner, getting into a relationship, or also marriage, though Saturn is not the significator of marriage, but it likes marriages because it gets exalted in Libra, the natural 7th house. It likes marriages because in marriages you get free food. Saturn enjoys anything that he gets for free. Okay, and this Saturn is giving you that kind of message that you need to channelize and make the most of the growth of your relationship and work. This also indicates that you could build some meaningful associations, relationship at your workplace. Build your acquaintance during this time and have the kind of influence. And most importantly, you need to fix your 11th house during this time, which is the sign of Pisces, because this is going to be the next step of Saturn. So you need to be careful of opposition. You need to be prepared for any kind of opposition to deal with it. Of course, you will win with flying colors as far as opposition is concerned when Saturn is going to make a transit in the sign of Pisces. It will help you defeat others. It will help you overcome any sort of opposition when it comes to other people by the power of your labor. Your efforts are going to be appreciated and recognized during that time. This is the kind of message that I'd like to give to you, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Gemini ascendants. What's happening with Gemini ascendants as far as Saturn's direct transit in the sign of Aquarius is concerned? For Geminis, Saturn rules your 8th house and the 9th house. Saturn rules Ayush, and he's also the Karaka for Ayush or longevity. Therefore, as far as our purpose, why are we here on this planet, on the Bhuloka, is because of Saturn, because he is the Ayush Karaka, and that is something which is the ultimate factor of life. That is something which is the ultimate truth of life. Okay. Now Saturn is also your 9th lord, which is the lord of Bhagya, Dharma, your fortune, father figure, higher learning, long distance journeys, your spiritual growth. So Saturn rules important houses. Saturn plays a very important role because he is your Bhagyesha, the lord of fortune. Therefore, it is an important planet. It has dual lordship. The kind of role or of course results it will give would be dependent on your Saturn's placement. Now Saturn would have created some sort of discomfort as far as dealing with other people is concerned with regards to its retrograde motion, particularly bringing authority issues, bringing issues with some people at workplace politics primarily. Now Saturn is going to be making a direct transit in your 9th house itself in its Mool Trikon sign of Aquarius, which is the workplace sign of Saturn. This is an opportunity for you to build a network, build influence, because you will gain a lot of wisdom during this time, because you will learn, you will attain higher wisdom, you will attain higher knowledge, because this is the kind of opportunity which Saturn is bringing for you, because Saturn is going to be moving at an unusually fast pace. So whatever you learn, you're going to be picking up pretty fast during this time. You must get a Guru Upadesha because your 3-9 axis is pretty active, and that too someone who's old, someone who has the wisdom of Saturn. And of course there could be some coldness as well, but any message, any blessings, any guidance that you get from your mentor or guru during this time could be of good value to you. This Saturn is going to be aspecting your 11th house and your 6th house by its 3rd and the 10th aspect, which indicates that there is growth of fulfillment of desires. So any desires that you have that are going to be fulfilled, and there is also growth of duties. You are going to realize what your duties are, things that you like to do on a day-to-day basis, your duties towards your family, your duties towards your friends, your duties towards yourself, and your duty towards your work and your dharma. You would become a responsible person over the next 4.5 months. You would like to take accountability and take lead in any responsibility that is given to you. So particularly at workplace settings, you're likely to shine. If you take additional responsibility, you could be recognized, you could be promoted. So make sure you are open to taking newer, bigger challenges during this time, because one of the key message that Saturn is giving you is that you need to fix your 10th house. This is where Saturn is going to be making the next transit. So that needs cleansing. You need to fix your work. Some decisions that you need to take should be aligned with your interest and things that you wish to do. Your profession, which must be aligned with the kind of placement that Saturn has in your chart, because Saturn really doesn't care about what you like. He cares about what he likes and what he wants. And this is the kind of message. Fix your work, fix your karma. This time is not going to come back. It is an opportunity for you and will help you prepare for Saturn's 2.5 years transit in the sign of Pisces. And for that, I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Cancer ascendants and what's happening with Cancer ascendants as far as Saturn's direct transit in the sign of Aquarius is concerned. For you, Saturn is your 7th lord and the 8th lord. It has 2 lordships of Capricorn and Aquarius. So it rules your Jaya Bhava, which is your 7th house, which represents peace and also war. Because this has a lot to do with those people who are opposite to you. So they could be your partner, they could be your spouse, your business partner, or simply those people who are opposite to you, your outer world of people, things, and events. Okay, foreign lands and of course other people from other countries are also seen from the 7th house besides the 12th house. This Saturn also rules your 8th house of transformation, longevity, sudden changes, your secret motive, your mysterious things, ability to do research, your inheritance. There are multiple aspects of the 8th house, both good and also bad. This Saturn is making a direct transit now in your 8th house. So far its retrograde would have brought some karmic repercussions as far as relationship matters are concerned. And now this Saturn is going to be moving forward and moving close towards your 9th house. This is going to be the next transit of Saturn. So this by far without a doubt is an opportunity for you to strengthen your relationship, because 8th house is also the Mangalya Bhava. So Saturn expects you to fulfill your duty as far as your relationship is concerned. So that is one area wherein you have the opportunity to strengthen and show the power of labor in your relationship. Work towards your relationship. That is the key message. Work related opportunities and stress is going to reduce if you're a Cancer moon sign or the ascendant sign. 8th house Saturn generally creates obstacles as far as work is concerned, because its third aspect is also on the 10th house. Of course, eventually it will bring growth. So far if you have been struggling, now is the time to make a change. Now is the time to move forward, get out of your comfort zone, step out, be out there and take things in your own hands. Take your transformation in your own hand. If you've gone through some sudden changes, sudden ups and downs, now is the time when things will slightly start getting comfortable for you. You will be very much comfortable with this change. Your 10th house and 5th house are being aspected by the 3rd and 10th Upachaya aspects of Saturn, which are indicative of growth. So there is definitely growth of future work. So what you were to work in future, you need to pen it down right now. You need to write your goals. You need to write those things that you will do in order to get a better job, in order to get a high paying job or a different line of work, or also if you were to start your business, start making the plan, start writing down those 3, 4, 5 things that you have to do over the next 4 to 5 months, because this is the time for planning. The next phase, fortune will somehow favor you. Someone older than you, maybe your guru, father, mother, they could play a very important role to support you for your success. And this is where you need to fix your 9th house during this time, because this is where Saturn is going to be making a transit in the sign of Pisces. So you need to protect your dharma, you need to hold on to your dharma during this time, so that when Saturn makes a transit to Pisces, you can strengthen it further. You can strengthen your dharma, and this way fortune will favor you and will bring you new education opportunities as far as the next transit is concerned. And for that, I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Leo Ascendants and what's happening with Leo Ascendants as far as Saturn's transit, which is a direct transit in the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius is its Mool Trikona sign. It is the office space of Saturn. Saturn's own sign is Capricorn, and Aquarius being second from Capricorn, that means Saturn wants to work for the family. He likes to work for the family, because we see family, Kutumba Bhava from second house, and this is the Bhavat Bhavam concept, and also a very interesting astrological tip that I'd like to share with you. Now Saturn for you is your 6th lord and the 7th lord. Saturn rules daily routines, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, your deaths and diseases, your competition, opposition. We also see intelligence from the 6th house. We also see growth from the 6th house, because it is one of the Upachaya Bhavas. And Saturn has Upachaya aspects. It aspects 3rd and 10th besides the 7th house. It also aspects 3rd and 10th house from its position. So its aspects are aspects of growth. There's a lot of misconception about Saturn's aspect being bad. So it could have mixed results. See, growth is never easy. Growth comes with a lot of responsibilities, a lot of pain, a lot of tasks, and you need to be ready for it. You need to be prepared for it. If you're not able to take it, you will struggle, you will fail. But if you take it, you can reach great heights. Saturn shares an inimical relationship with your Lagna Lord Sun. But this Saturn is making a direct transit in your 7th house. Saturn also rules your 7th house of partnership, marriage, relationship, harmony. This is the Jaya Bhava. We see peace and also war. Those people who are opposite to you. Saturn gains directional strength or is Digbali in the 7th house. But its retrograde transit would have created some sort of issues as far as your relationship is concerned, as far as your self-confidence or self-esteem is concerned as well. So that is something which would have gone through some sort of test or transformation. But now you will start to see the results of direction strength of Saturn, because this is the western space and Saturn likes to be in the west. And therefore there are blessings of Devata during this time. Worship Lord Vishnu, worship Surya Bhagavan during this time, chant Aditya Hridaya Stotam, and you will be benefited very highly as far as this direct transit is concerned. It is going to last for about 4.5 months. Saturn is moving at an unusually fast pace. If you've had some sort of setback in relationship matters, that is going to improve. If you had delays as far as your own transformation is concerned, you will stop procrastinating, you will take things in your hand, you will be more active, you'll be liking to go out and meet up with people. You will bring a sense of wisdom in your interaction with other people. You will bring a sense of maturity which will be quite reflective in your workplace context, particularly when it comes to dealing with other people. You can also get favors from your bosses, from your leaders during this time. So this is something which you have to be mindful of, and of course make the most of this opportunity. This Saturn will be aspecting your 9th house by its 3rd special aspect. So there is still karma that you need to fulfill as far as your relationship is concerned, but this is growing your bhagya, this is growing your higher education. So you need to learn something spiritual, you need to learn something very, very high, very, very unique during this time that could be quite beneficial for you as far as your business is concerned or as far as your relationship is concerned. This Saturn is also aspecting your 4th house by its 10th special aspect of growth. So there is growth of dharma and also peace. It is the growth of your mindfulness. You will become more mindful, you will become more aware, you would like to connect with the nature, you would like to do those things that make you feel happy, that make you feel content. Of course, you will still like to get out of your comfort zone. There are difficult energies, for sure. You still have some sort of issues that you need to fix as far as your relationship is concerned. I'm not saying the journey would be easy or like a piece of cake, but there is a certain amount of pace and improvement as far as your life is concerned. And one thing that you need to fix this time is your 8th house. Be prepared for transformation, be prepared for bigger opportunities, because eventually this Saturn is going to give you bigger work opportunities, but that is going to come with a lot of challenge. So you need to be mentally and physically prepared for it. Use the power of labor that Saturn will bestow you in the next transit and take your transformation in your own hands. At least be mentally prepared that something is coming, and for that I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Virgo Ascendant and what's happening with Virgo Ascendant as far as Saturn's direct transit in the sign of Aquarius is concerned, which is its Mool Trikon sign. It's the office space of Saturn, where of course it feels comfortable and it feels at work. And this Saturn is going to go at an unusually fast pace because it is making a direct transit at around 18 degrees 28 minutes. So about 12 degrees it will go to cover in about 4.5 months, which is quite unusual for Saturn, because Saturn's transit is about 2.5 years long. So you can do your math, you can do your calculation, and of course realize that this pace is unusual. But it is good because it will move things, it will make things happen. It will of course put the power of labor and help you channelize that power. Saturn for you is an important planet because it's your 5th lord and your 6th lord. Your 5th lord of future, your children. I always say that 5th lord is one of the most important planets for all ascendants. So if you fix your 5th lord, if you do remedies related to your 5th lord, which is mantras, if it is favorably placed, you will be least worried as far as your future is concerned. You would stop visiting astrologers and of course consulting with people and taking suggestions. You will start to take things in your hand. Saturn is also your 6th lord, 6th lord of deaths and diseases, your daily routines, your of course loans that you take, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Your job is also seen from the 6th house. Your intelligence, your growth is seen from the 6th house. The ability to overcome competition, the ability to repay your debts is also seen from the 6th house. So it plays a very important role here. This Saturn is going a direct transit in the 6th house, making a direct transit there. Saturn is one of the primary significator for the 6th house, and therefore from that point of view it is making a transit in a good dignity. Secondly, it is also a Viparita Yoga in transit. Somehow when Saturn was retrograde, this Viparita Yoga doesn't work to its optimum potential. It makes Saturn struggle during this time. This Saturn is quite powerful for the next couple of months. Therefore, one thing is quite certain: if you have faced a lot of opposition in the last few months, now is the time for you to step up and overcome this opposition by the virtue of your knowledge and your intelligence, also by the virtue of your creativity. So for example, at workplace, you will start doing things differently, which will be recognized, which will be appreciated. Others will make a note and attention about the things and your style. So try and develop a style, your uniqueness. What are your unique talents? What makes you uniquely you? This is something which you have to be thinking about. This is something which you have to spend time with yourself and reflect, and how you can bring that as far as your work is concerned. This Saturn will be aspecting your 8th house by its 3rd aspect and your 3rd house by its 10th aspect. Therefore, Saturn is bringing growth as far as change is concerned and as far as your transformation is concerned. So because both 8th house rules transformation, 3rd house is all about change and your valor. So there's going to be growth in your courage. You will take some vital decisions, maybe some big decisions that you never thought of taking all the while. Now is the time for you to increase your valor and of course be more brave, be more courageous about things. In case you have some loans and you need to repay, you could build the capacity to repay it. In case you're taking a new loan or any kind of debt during this time, this could be related to buying a house or a vehicle or any major purchase. This could be a potentially favorable time for you, considering your Dasha Antardasha is supportive, particularly if it is related to building a house. You need to fix your daily routine, remove lethargy, go hit the gym, go for a walk or a run, try to be as active as you can through the day, because Saturn's moving at an extremely fast pace. This is going to bring in stress, this is going to bring in constant need or certain expectations from other people that you will have to manage during this time, and these expectations will be very high. So if you work with some people, they will have very high expectations. Your partner will have huge expectations during this time. So be prepared to tackle and manage these expectations by your power of labor and demonstrating certain level of maturity. What you have to be prepared for is try to fix your 7th house during this time, because Saturn is going to be making the next transit in the sign of Pisces, which is your 7th house. Fix your relationship, protect your relationship now. If you've been looking forward to having a relationship, very good. Try to seek out, try to find a new partner or a new match. This could be a potentially favorable time for you. This is the kind of message which Saturn is giving you. Be prepared for that transit, because that is when Saturn will gain directional strength and it will also form a yoga. And as far as future is concerned, be prepared for bigger and better opportunities. Use mantras related to Saturn. A simple mantra, Om Sham, could really help you. Or worship Lord Hanuman during this time, the primary deity related to Saturn. Or you can also worship Lord Vishnu. Use a simple mantra, Om Vishnave Namah. You will be benefited by this transit, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Libra Ascendants. For Libra Ascendants, your Yoga Karaka Graha, Saturn, is finally making a direct transit in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is its Mool Trikon sign, or the office space of Saturn, and Saturn likes to get to work because he has the power of labor. He gives you the power of labor. Saturn is your 4th lord, the lord of happiness, your comfort space, your mother, your homeland, your safe space where you feel most happy and where you feel protected. Saturn is also your 5th lord. This is where the sign of Aquarius, or the Mool Trikon sign of Saturn, falls. which rules future, your creativity, progress, your children. Positional success is seen from the fifth house. Mantras are seen from the fifth house. Saturn becomes your mantresha or ruler of mantras in your chart. Whether mantras will work for you or not, Saturn will be the ultimate deciding factor. Whether you use a mantra for Shukra, Buddha, Surya, any of the grahas or devtas, Saturn will be the ultimate deciding factor whether this will work or not. Without a doubt, any appropriate mantra that you use over the next 4.5 months, you will increase the power of labor as far as your future opportunities are concerned. You will be able to take help from those people who work for you, those people who work with you. Those are going to play an instrumental role as far as your life is concerned. So please use mantras, because this Saturn is going direct in your fifth house itself. It is forming a yoga and it is giving you a window of opportunity as far as future decisions are concerned to make the next transit a bit convenient for you as far as things that you do on a day-to-day basis is concerned. You might want to take some key decisions as far as your future is concerned, using and leveraging the power of labor here. In case you've been looking forward to moving outside of your homeland, moving abroad, changing countries, this could be a potentially favorable time for you. This Saturn is giving a wealth yoga during this time, so you could expect a rise in your income in case your dasha antardasha is supportive. Also, it could create a secondary source of income. You need to again use the power of labor and put in efforts. This will not come without any efforts. If you sit back, relax, it's not going to happen. You're going to go out there, try to get out of your comfort zone. Saturn is the ruler of your fourth house. It's making a transit in the fifth house. The message is, if you were to earn, if you were to fix your future, step out of your comfort zone. This Saturn is aspecting your seventh house by its third aspect and the second house by its 10th aspect. There is growth of family and finances during this time, and also growth of relationship. Your duty should be towards your family, towards your partner, and towards financial management. This is also a karma that you have to fulfill during this time. Make sure that you save. Make sure that you take some very important investment related decisions during this time, which could give you some long term beneficial results, or as far as fruits are concerned in the long run. This is the kind of message which Saturn is giving you as far as its aspects are concerned. Now, one of the house that you have to fix is your sixth house, because Saturn is going to be making the next transit in the sign of Pisces in about 5 months from now. This is when Saturn is going to enter Pisces. So your sixth house needs to be fixed. That means you need to focus on your health and well-being primarily. Start exercising, start working out. If you have some goal of reducing your weight, fixing your food, taking care of your digestion, this is your time. This is an opportunity to fix all these things. If you've had digestive issues, if you've had food related issues, if you've had allergies, this is the time for you to take things in your control and start working out, start exercising, because this way it will give you the power to manage your daily things and daily routines as far as the sixth house transit of Saturn is concerned. It will help you somehow also be prepared for any competition or any sort of obstacle that will come your way as far as next transit of Saturn is concerned. Use the power of mantras during this time. These mantras are going to work wonders for you. So this could be the mantra related to Venus or Lakshmi. So even a simple mantra, Om Lakshmi Namah, you can use it, because if you worship Lakshmi, Lord Vishnu gets happy. If you worship Lord Vishnu, Goddess Lakshmi gets happy. So this is something you need to understand during this time. Use mantras, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Scorpio Ascendants and what's happening with Scorpio Ascendants as far as Saturn's direct transit in the sign of Aquarius is concerned, which is happening on 15th of November, and it's going to last for about 4.5 months till end of March. For Scorpio, Saturn is more of a neutral planet. So firstly, it has an inimical relationship with your Lagna Lord Mars. It doesn't like Mars, but Mars is the one who beats Saturn. I have mentioned that in the beginning of my video that you must watch. It's an important tip for you particularly, because Saturn for Scorpio is more or less like a hidden motive. So that hidden motive is something which you need to understand and how you can channelize it. That hidden motive could be a plan, could be a business idea that you know. So therefore, I always give an advice to Scorpio ascendants: if you have an interesting business idea and if you have a prominent Saturn in your chart, do not share that idea till you implement it. Because if you share it, if you talk about it, sooner or later you will realize, oh, someone else has already started it. It was my idea, I think, but someone else got benefited by the virtue of that idea. So keep things for yourself, for your own benefit, is the kind of message which Saturn gives you. It's your third lord and fourth lord. Saturn rules valor, courage for you, change, your younger siblings, your communication, what you do from your hands, and particularly your right hand. Saturn is also your fourth lord of mother, your homeland, your happy space, your comfortable space, where you feel most protected. Your home, that's the most comfortable and safe space. This Saturn has been making a retrograde transit in your fourth house. It would have made you step out of your comfort zone. It would have made you put more efforts and of course disrupt as far as comfort is concerned, and some karmas related to relationship and also work. So you would have been juggling between the two. Now this transit is happening in your fourth house in a direct motion. Saturn will start moving and picking up pace, and it is going to move a bit faster than usual for the next 4.5 months. This is the time for you to relook and of course focus on things. Your duty is towards your mother, your duty is towards your homeland. This is a calling, and at the same time those things which make you feel happy, which make you feel content, that is where your duty is. You need to pick up something that you've been wanting to do since a long time. This is your opportunity, and if you miss the bus, you might regret for the next few years why I did not make the start, why I did not take the leap of faith. So in case you have some decision which is a leap of faith, it could be a new business, it could be maybe leaving your job, starting something new, a new line of work or a hobby or a profession, this is your time to make that decision. Most importantly, this Saturn is your third lord making a transit in the fourth house. Of course, it will continue to make you step out of your comfort zone. But the next 2 months, this Saturn is aspected by your Lagna Lord Mars, and it is for a longer period of time because Mars will again come back in Cancer, and of course it's going retrograde, it will go retrograde and then of course back again. So it has a long transit in the sign of Cancer as far as this time period is concerned. So it will continue to have some influence on Saturn, and this is a very protected influence. So your fourth house is more or less protected. So your safe space, comfort space, and mother's health is protected during this time. But this could be a cause of concern as well. So you'll have to take care and be in touch with your mother. This Saturn is aspecting your sixth house and your first house during this transit. So what is the message? There is growth of yourself and your intelligence, right? So Saturn firstly is aspecting your sixth house with the third aspect, so your intelligence is growing. Your competition is growing, but your ability to overcome this competition will also grow. There is growth of your well-being, and there is growth of yourself, your physical vitality, your immunity, that is seeing some sort of growth. So you will go through some dietary changes. So make sure that you proactively take some decisions and take some steps as far as bringing these changes are concerned, which could be quite good from a health and well-being point of view. One house that you need to fix during this time, which could be quite prominent for you, is your fifth house, which is the house of future. You need to think through your future, your children's concern, children's health, distance with children, and of course anything related to your children in case you're a parent. So that is something which you need to fix during this time. Your progress, positional success, how you can of course think of creating better and bigger opportunities for you as far as your future is concerned. So this particular time could make you futuristic for your own benefit. So start having a vision for yourself in terms of where you want to see yourself and how you would achieve. Make use of mantras. Worship Lord Narasimha during this time. Use mantras related to Mars. Mars needs channelization during this time. It needs to be channelized, and that is going to further strengthen your Saturn's transit during this time and make you feel slightly more comfortable than how it has made you during this time. And for that, I wish you the very best. Have a blessed transit of Saturn. Now let us talk about Sagittarius ascendants and what's happening with Sagittarius as far as Saturn's direct transit in the sign of Aquarius, which is its mool trikon sign. It is the office space of Saturn, where Saturn feels at work. It has enormous amount of labor, and this Saturn is making a transit in Shatabisha Nakshatra's fourth pada. Fourth pada is the pada of moksha, liberation, spirituality. Shatabisha as a nakshatra is a nakshatra that has 1,000 lights. It is the brightest of them all. That means it has got a lot of energy, and these energies could be very complex as well. People say Shatabisha is all about healer, it's got physicians, but no, it's got light. And wherever there is light, it has a lot of huge amount of energy, and for Saturn to deal with such energy, it needs to be channelized in the appropriate direction, and this is where you will look up to your Lagna Lord Jupiter during this time, which is also going through a retrograde transit. Saturn for you rules your second house and the third house. It is the ruler of your family, your wealth, your Kutumba Bhava, your income, your potential to save, your consumption, what you do as far as your ability to earn, save and have a living is concerned. Saturn also rules your third house, the house of valor, your courage, change, growth, your younger siblings, your communication. This Saturn is making a direct transit in your third house itself, in a mool trikon sign of Aquarius. Saturn being a natural malefic for you and more of a neutral graha, because it shares a friendly relationship with your Lagna Lord Jupiter. So it's not a bad planet for you. But your third lord making a transit in the third house is very similar to a Viparita yoga. So circumstances could have been adverse for you. There would have been a time in the last few months that you were required to put in a lot more efforts to anything that you do. And lethargy played a very important role as far as efforts is concerned, because you might have developed a pessimistic approach. Now is the time for optimism. Now is the time to put efforts using the power of labor, and these efforts will give you results because Saturn is being channelized. It is also a natural malefic. Being a natural malefic, it does very well as far as third house is concerned, and this is something which you must understand during this time. Okay, see, it's a direct transit. Any efforts that you take will give you results. Use the power of your labor to do certain things using your hands. So you could paint, art, you could write a journal, you could work in the kitchen, you could exercise, work out, you could do gardening. So try to maximize these energies. This is a duty calling. So your duty is to put the power of labor in anything that you do using your hands, and take care of your hands during this time, right? This is also from a health and well-being point of view. You could be prone to develop some issues. This Saturn is aspecting your 5th house and the 12th house by its 3rd and the 10th aspect. These aspects indicate growth. There is growth of spiritual knowledge during this time. We see knowledge from the 5th house. We see primary vidya from the 5th house. And we see spiritual growth from the 12th house. So there is growth of knowledge, and that kind of knowledge which is spiritual, which will help you heal, which will help you heal others, which will help you become a much wiser person than how you are at this point in time. See, change is inevitable. So you could expect a change of place over the next 4 to 5 months, change of residence, or if you've been thinking of investing outside of your home country, this could be a potentially favorable time to invest in real estate primarily outside of your home country. Or if you live in a foreign land, this could be a potentially favorable time. The next 1 year or so, you could make a key decision as far as buying a house or a land is concerned in foreign lands, or away from your place of birth at least. Could be a different city which is far away. This Saturn is giving you an opportunity to fix your 4th house in the next 4 to 5 months, because this is where Saturn is going to make a next transit in the sign of Pisces, and it will definitely put you out of your comfort zone. So try to stay out of your comfort zone. Try to do those things which make you feel uncomfortable. Try to experiment new projects, new assignments, learn new skills, upskill yourself, because if you don't upskill yourself, you're going to face a lot of challenge, you're going to face a lot of problems as far as your work is concerned. This is the key message for you. If you do not learn now, learn about AI, learn about Gen AI, and of course try to make use of these tools, automation, in order to help you reduce manual work, and that is how you will be more productive as far as work is concerned, and that is how you will be able to deal with the energies of Saturn in Pisces in your 4th house very appropriately. And of course, you need to be prepared for it, and for that I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Capricorn Ascendants and what's happening with Capricorn Ascendants as far as Saturn's direct transit in the sign of Aquarius is concerned, which is its Mool Trikon sign, or the office space of Saturn. This is where Saturn feels at work. Saturn is your Lagna Lord. It's the important planet for you. It also rules your 2nd house. See, understand one thing, for Capricorn Ascendants, the message that Saturn gives you is that you need to work towards your family. Capricorn is the own house of Saturn. Aquarius is 2nd from Capricorn, and we see 2nd house as the house of family. Saturn is the Karaka of work. It is the Karaka of labor. So you need to work towards the family. This is the message that Saturn is giving you, and it is even more important for the next 4 to 5 months. You need to fix your finances. You need to make some major decisions as far as family matters and finances are concerned. This is the karma which you are likely to fulfill, which you are likely to repay regardless of your dasha antardasha. It will make you do it. Saturn is your Lagna Lord, the Lord of self, your overall body, your personality, your vitality, your immunity, who you are, how you get the power of labor, and of course how you build your intelligence. It is also the ruler of your 2nd house, your Dhan Bhava, your Kutumba Bhava, the ruler of wealth and family, your consumption, what you eat, what you consume, what you store, and how you share your resources with your loved ones. This Saturn finally is making a direct transit in its Mool Trikon sign of Aquarius in your 2nd house. This is an opportunity for you to fix a lot of matters related to your 2nd house. The 2nd house plays a very important role in our life, because wealth plays a very important role, family plays a very important role. We try to earn money and of course make wealth because of a family, for our family. And at the same time, this is an opportunity for you to take some financial decisions during this time. Also decisions related to what you eat. You could go through some dietary changes, some dietary restrictions. So be proactive, take charge of those things. If you've been thinking of going on a diet or going on a healthy regime, trying to bring some discipline in what you eat, what you consume, this is your time, because the decisions that you take are going to be long lasting. So if you try to fix your eating, it is going to be long lasting for you. I do not give dietary recommendations to people. I mean, in my opinion, you are of course free to make your own choices, but for the benefit of your health and well-being, this could be a prominent time, and this will fix a lot of matters. Because if you consume food items related to shani, so for example black dal, okay, that's one, black chana, right, chickpeas, so this way you will attract wealth. This is a very simple wealth remedy for you. Okay, if you start using wallet or a bag or where you keep money, and that is of black color, that could be quite benefited for you, or dark colors, okay, dark blue as well, that could be quite beneficial for you as far as this particular time period is concerned. This Saturn is having an aspect on your 4th house and your 11th house. So there is growth of comforts and growth of gains. So from a financial point of view, it is going to put you in a better position. Okay, but you have to be careful of your speech, because you are likely to bring coldness in your speech. Okay, bring maturity instead, right? Bring the depth of Saturn and try to be mature in your conversations so you do not sound cold to other people, right? Keep your self-esteem at check, keep your ego at check, because if you know more, if you have more knowledge, then you might sound as if a cold person to the other people. There is growth of gains, there is growth of comforts during this time. You would like to connect with your mother, people from your homeland, and one of the house that you need to fix during this time is your 3rd house, because this is where Saturn will make the next transit in the sign of Pisces. So you need to fix your efforts. You need to be prepared to build more courage, and you need to be prepared for a change of place, shift of residence. Saturn will not likely let you settle at one place over the next few months. Change is inevitable. It could be a change of residence, it could be a change of work, it could be a physical change as well, right? Whether it's good for you or not good will depend on your ongoing dasha antardasha, but you need to manage these energies, so at least be prepared for that time period. And for this, I wish you the very best. May you have a blessed transit of Saturn. Let us now talk about Aquarius Ascendants and what's happening with Aquarius Ascendants as far as Saturn's direct transit in the sign of Aquarius is concerned, which is the most important transit of the year 2024, the last of the all, and it is going to stay for about 4.5 months till it makes a transit in the sign of Pisces. For Aquarius, Saturn is an important planet because it's your Lagna Lord. It has been making a transit in your ascendant, though it's a Maran Karaka position for Saturn. But exceptionally, if Saturn is making a transit in its Mool Trikon sign or exaltation sign or its own sign, we could say that the effects of Maran Karaka do minimize, because this way Saturn is forming a yoga. So quite evidently, eventually Saturn would have made you a much disciplined person in your life. But the last few months, this lethargy would have taken over your physical activities and your physical well-being, because you would feel low on energy when Saturn makes a retrograde transit, because this is where it is bringing a lot of heaviness as far as your first house is concerned. So maybe your weight would have not been checked, your health and well-being would not have been at check. This Saturn is your ascendant lord, the ruler of yourself, your overall body, your personality, your vitality, and who you are. It also rules your 12th house, the sign of Capricorn, which is your higher self-consciousness, your expenditure, losses, of course, things that you do to help others. How you help others is also seen from the 12th house. Your self-consciousness, your higher self-consciousness, your ability to be more self-aware. This Saturn finally is making a direct transit in your first house. Next 4.5 months, Saturn is going to be picking up the pace. So there is no space for lethargy, first of all. You need to go out there, take things in your control, which is your own physical well-being and your physical transformation. This is one of the opportunity window that you have. You will become more self-aware, because the Lord of expenditure, the Lord of losses and self-awareness, higher self-consciousness is making a transit in your ascendant. You will be more giving in nature. You would like to help people. You would like to take proactive steps. You might have developed the habit of forgetting things, but now this will sharpen your memory. This will play an important role for you to remember things. The power of labor is sitting in your ascendant. For the next 4.5 months, it is moving fast. It is moving in a direct motion. So this is an opportunity for you to leverage these energies. See, Saturn doesn't care about what you like, what you want. He cares about what he likes. He likes to labor. And this is what he expects from you. He doesn't like you to sit. He likes you to be out there in the open, helping people, connecting with people, and of course, taking charge of your own physical and mental well-being during this time. This is the key message that Saturn is giving you for the next 4.5 months. Saturn is going to be aspecting your third house by its third special aspect and the 10th house by its 10th special aspect. So there is growth of your valor and your work. If you have siblings, your siblings could also grow during this time. You could be more connected to your sibling, particularly if they're younger siblings. Over the next 4.5 months, you could mend these ties or relationship. Growth of work as well. So that is also there. Change is inevitable. So if you come across a job change or change in your work, that could be quite beneficial for you. It could be quite better for you during this time. Okay, because of the aspect of Saturn. Now, one house that needs to be fixed during this time is your second house. Second house of your family, your kutumba, your wealth, your finances, what you eat, what you consume, because Saturn is going to be making a transit in the sign of Pisces end of March 2025 for the next 2.5 years. And this is what you need to fix before Saturn makes this transit. Take some proactive steps in terms of your dietary requirements, in terms of your financial decisions, in terms of decisions pertaining to your family, the welfare of your family, and of course, your ability to have a secondary source of income, how you would use your power of labor or start a new source of income in case you're not doing anything at this point in time, if you've taken a break or if you're on a sabbatical or if you don't have work during this time. This is the time to step up and take things in your control. Fix your second house, fix your speech as well, use mantras related to Saturn, worship Lord Hanuman during this time. This could be extremely beneficial for you, and for that I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Pisces ascendant and what's happening with Pisces as far as Saturn's direct transit in the sign of Aquarius is concerned, which is its Mool Trikon sign. Saturn is at work in the sign of Aquarius, which is its Mool Trikon sign, and this Saturn wants you to work. This Saturn wants to leverage the power of labor and channelize it appropriately. Remember, Capricorn is the own sign of Saturn. It is its home. This is where Saturn feels at home. And Aquarius is second from Capricorn. That means Saturn wants you to work towards your family. This is the kind of message that Saturn gives you. It doesn't really care about what you like or what you want. It cares about what he likes, and therefore profession some way should be connected to Saturn, and this way you're able to fulfill the karmas of Saturn, and you're also likely to have a more comfortable nature of profession. You're likely to be more comfortable as far as growth opportunities are concerned. Now this Saturn is your 11th lord and the 12th lord. It is a neutral planet for you. It shares a friendly relationship with your lucky lord Jupiter, so you must look up to Jupiter during this time. Saturn rules gains, also competition, which we see from the 11th house, bigger enemies, your material comforts, your wider social network, your ability to influence others, your reward, your incentives, also your 12th lord of higher self-consciousness, your losses, your expenditure, okay, your sleep, bed comforts are seen from the 12th house. Okay, this Saturn is making a direct transit now in your 12th house. Saturn is the primary significator of the 12th house. It is also forming a Viparita Yoga in transit, but somehow the significations were lost of Viparita Yoga during the retrograde transit of Saturn. Now you will start to seeing results. So if you have fallen down, it is time for you to rise up. It is time for you to fix your work and of course fix yourself as well. As far as your overall awareness is concerned, you are going to go on a discovery path for the next 4.5 months. You need to understand your uniqueness, your unique talents, what makes you uniquely you. Understand your strengths and your hidden talents. Maybe something you want to pick up that you've been thinking to do since a long time, and now is the time for you to fulfill those desires and take things in your hand and fulfill those desires which you have. The direct transit in the 12th house would help you focus on curtailing your expenditure, taking charge of your expenditure, and at the same time increasing your self-awareness, because your power of labor is in the 12th house. Your ability to give others, your ability to help others. At workplace, you might look or appear to be someone who's helpful in nature, to try and help others, because if you help others, you are likely to succeed in workplace context. Saturn is your 11th lord in the 12th house. Of course, it might increase your expenditure as well, but if your expenditure increases, so does your income should increase, because there is a direct relationship between the two. You cannot manage your heavy expenditure or high expenditure if your income does not increase. So they are proportionally related. This Saturn will be aspecting your 2nd house and your 9th house by its 3rd and the 10th special aspect. These are the aspects of growth. It will also aspect your 6th house by its 7th aspect, but I'm going to focus on these two special aspects. So there is growth of family and there is growth of dharma. There is also growth of finances, which is wealth. So you will take some important decisions as far as wealth related matters are concerned, but your dharma is likely to grow, your fortune is likely to grow, your higher learning, which we see from the 9th house, is likely to grow. So an excellent time for you to learn, not only learn more about yourself, but learn more about newer, faster, better ways of doing work. Upskill yourself, higher knowledge. This knowledge can also be spiritual knowledge. So spiritually, it is an excellent phase for you next 4.5 months. Uniqueness, mindfulness, these are the two things that you must focus, because if you practice mindfulness, it will open your mind. If you meditate, it will help you realize your potential, and of course understand that you have unlimited potential, because it's connected in a way that you have to fix your 1st house or the ascendant, because this is where Saturn is going to be making the next transit end of March for 2.5 years in Pisces in your ascendant, and this is where Saturn is going to be Maran Karak. It will form a natural Dhan Yoga in transit, but it will lose its significance. So in order to protect that, in order to protect yourself, your immunity, your vitality, and not be lethargic and have plenty of energy, you need to take charge now. you need to fix some of the things in the next 4.5 months that are related to your personal well-being, physical well-being, personal hygiene, and your ability to keep going and have plenty of energy that you can carry forward for the whole of 2025 and 2026. So this is something which you have to be mindful of and take things in your own control. Look up to your Lagna Lord Jupiter, use mantras related to Jupiter or worship Lord Shiva, or use the simple mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Sada Shivaya during this time. You will be able to connect with him and get some blessings, and for that I wish you the very best. So this was about Saturn's direct transit in the sign of Aquarius. I hope you like this video. I hope and believe Saturn's direct transit in the sign of Aquarius puts us to work, helps us use the power of labor at our work and doing things which makes us recognized in this world, which makes us take care of all the material things and comforts as far as the life is concerned. And most importantly, it puts us back to work and back to work for good and lessens the burden that we've been facing as far as retrograde transit of Saturn was concerned. Thank you very much. God bless you all.